Alright guys, so in this video we are going to install Flutter and Android Studio on our computers. So we start off by searching Flutter in our web browser. Now it will direct us to the Flutter website. That's the first link. You click on that and you get redirected to the Flutter website. I apologize, my internet is a little slow today, but yeah, so we just wait a little. Alright, so it opens up the page and we see the home page for Flutter. We get a very nice interface. I actually like Flutter for a lot of things. One, because it's a cross-platform and it allows you to build stunning UI. So with the platforms you can build for iOS, for Android, for desktop, yeah, and they have a lot of things. It's a very nice framework. Alright, so we click on the get started in order to install Flutter on our system. Right, so you choose your operating system. So if you're using a Windows or a Mac or a Linux or a Chrome OS, you can easily install Flutter on these operating systems. So I'm using a Windows. I'll click on Windows and we install it on Windows. So we have to meet system requirements where we must have Windows 10, at least 1.64 gig of disk space, and we must have PowerShell and Git installed on our system. I have a tutorial on how to install Git. You can check it out. So let's download the Flutter SDK. So click on the download Flutter SDK. The latest version is the Flutter 3.0. Right, so we click on the start download. Now this might take a little while, so I'm going to minimize this window and we proceed to installing Android Studio. Right, so we'll get back to some of these later, where we have to set up the environment variables and update our path and so on. But right now let's just go to Android, how to install Android Studio. So we click on the install Android Studio and this will redirect us to the home page for Android Studio, where we can install Android Studio. Right, so here in the Android Studio we click on the download Android Studio button. Now we are presented with the terms and conditions. We go through it and yeah, we click on the download Android Studio. Now the latest version is over there. I think it's 21.2.1. so we install that. I'll click on start download. So this might take a while to complete, so I'm going to pause the video and get back when it's done. Alright, so the two downloads are done. That's the Flutter and the Android Studio. So let me open up the Flutter. So it's in a zip folder, and let me open up the Android Studio. So we get the Android Studio set up over there. Right, so let me minimize this. Let us extract the Flutter SDK. So I'm going to extract it to a different folder. Alright, so it is done. We've extracted the folder, and now if we navigate in, we see we get the Flutter, and we also get the bin folder and some other additional things over here. So we are going to essentially just move this to a new directory. So I'm going to cut it and we are going to place it in our drive C. So I'll paste it over here. Now the reason why we are doing this is to ensure that we are able to access Flutter from across the computer. Now do not place it in a place where you need administrative privileges, so here is fine. Afterwards we copy the path to the bin. So flutter/bin, we copy the path over there. And now you would want to go and update your environment variables. So search env and then click on edit system environment. Now this will give you a window which will allow you to edit the environment variable. So over here we click on the environment variables down there, and then you click on the path. So in the path you click on path, new, you click on new, and then you paste the copied bin directory down there at the bottom. So you place it over there and then click on OK. So what this will essentially do is it will allow you to access Flutter from anywhere on your computer. So click on OK, and that is that. So we open up the run tool by pressing Windows R and searching cmd. Now here we type flutter doctor to run the Flutter command to see if we have Flutter installed. So if everything went well, we should get a message. So yeah, we did get a message. We got a message that says welcome to Flutter and some additional information. So if you didn't get this message, it means something went wrong in your installation and you might want to go back to that. So the installation will still run to see if you have some other tools installed. So like the VS Code, Android Studio. Yes, and now it is done. And as at the time of the recording, the latest stable release is Flutter 3.0. Now we'll go about the installation for Android Studio because we are done with the Flutter for now. So you double click on the installation setup for Android Studio, and you might have to give it an administrative privilege, and you wait for the setup to begin. Alright, so we get the pop-up window. We click on next, and yes, we click on next because we want an Android virtual device. We select the location for where we want to install this, and I think this works fine, so I clicked on next. So if you wanted to install it in a different location, you would have to specify where you want to install Android Studio, but this works fine. So we wait for the installation to complete and then we proceed. Alright, so it's done. We click on finish, and we do not want to import settings, so we click on OK, and this will begin the installation. So the main reason why we are installing Android Studio is because we want to be able to use the virtual device. So the emulator on Android Studio will allow us to preview the app we are building. So the alternative will be to connect your physical device, but this will allow us to preview our app. So that's why we are running the installation for Android Studio. So we click on next over here. There's some information over there. We click on next again, and then we want to choose the type of setup. It's a standard, so we click on next. So here you can choose between the dark theme or the light theme. I prefer the dark theme, so I'm going to select that and I'll click on next. Now this is a series of steps you have to follow to install the Android SDK license. So you read through the terms and conditions, and then you accept the terms and conditions. So finally we click on finish, and then we allow the installation to complete. Now this might take a while, and you have to have an active internet connection in order to not get any errors going forward. So I recommend you have an active internet connection and just allow this to run. So go grab yourself a cup of coffee as you wait for the installation to complete. Okay, so the installation is complete. The SDK is up to date. We click on finish, and this will give us the window. So over here we click on more actions, and then we look for the virtual device manager. You click on that, and now what we have to do is to create a virtual device. So we click on the create virtual device. Now we select the device that we want. I want the Pixel 4. You want to choose the one with the Play Store logo on it, so you click on next, and now we have to download a system image. So I'm going to select the R and then wait for the download to complete as well. So it's done. We click on next, and then now we have to give our emulator a name. I'm going to call it my emulator. No, let's call it the name of the channel. So I'm going to call it Code with Sheriga, and the settings look okay. We leave it at portrait and we click on finish. So this will create a virtual device for us. So to start it, we simply click on the play icon over there, and this will start the virtual device. So if you get a pop-up like this, you want to click on allow access in order to be able to access your device. So another alternative is to use your physical device. So for that, you have to enable USB debugging on the physical device before you can actually use it. But for our purposes, we are going to use this. We are going to use the emulator. So yeah, that's it, guys. This is how we set up the Android Studio and the Android Emulator. So if you had trouble installing this, you can leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you in the next tutorial.